Hi guys, so today I want to show you how I make scrambled eggs, and I know that like religion and politics, how you cook scrambled eggs is a very controversial subject, but if you're into creamy scrambled eggs, then I have a video for you. So the recipe I'll be showing you today makes a really nice batch of eggs, and it's easily adaptable, and it's very delicious, and it can be cooked pretty quickly. It's very ideal for like a weekend breakfast, especially if you're making it for a bunch of people. It's super savory with all the cream and parmesan or whatever you want to put into it. So with that being said, let's start making some eggs. So first and foremost, with these scrambled eggs on toast, we need some good quality eggs. In general, the darker the yolk or the thicker the shell, the better the egg. But in general, any eggs will work with this recipe. You'll just need to figure out how many eggs to make. And I usually go for about 2 eggs per person eating, but if you want to make more or less, you can easily adjust depending on the crowd of people who are consuming it. So to get started, we're simply just gonna break our eggs up into a bowl, making sure there's no shell in the container. And next we need to add some salt. And believe it or not, this is probably one of the easiest places to ruin the dish. So you need about a pinch of salt per egg, which is kind of a weird unit, but for 4 eggs, we can use about half a teaspoon or about this much salt. We're gonna go ahead and add that in, and then at this point, we're also gonna add some cream, or in my case, I'm adding a splash of milk. This is nice because it adds a little bit of milky flavor to the eggs, but it's 100% not mandatory, so if you don't wanna add milk, you don't have to. Now, we're gonna go ahead and just give this a good whisk, making sure to break up all the eggs and the yolk, and this would also be a good point to add in some dried spices if you wanted to play around, such as nutmeg or powdered mustard, which will change the flavor of your eggs and kind of give you a different flavor profile. That's the whole fun of this. As you get good at this, you can kind of tune this to what you like in eggs. But I want to keep it simple here. So once the eggs are evenly mixed, we're going to go ahead and let this mixture sit for a while we get the other ingredients ready. Now, the other half of the egg toast is, of course, the toast. So we preferably want to kind of use a nice bread if you have it. So I'm using a nice sourdough bread here, and you want to cut semi-thick slices. So maybe a little bit thicker than what you would get for sandwich bread. But in the end, as I said, the thickness is completely up to you. And we're going to need to toast this bread. Feel free to toast the bread with any method of your choice, such as if, for example, it fits in your toaster, then great. But for these semi-thick slices, I like to do it in the oven. To do that for me, I just set the oven temp to about 450 or 230 degrees Celsius, and then let them toast for about 5 minutes per side. But just make sure you keep an eye on them. The color will be the best indicator for when they're done or when to flip them. And just keep in mind that the second side tends to toast a little faster than the first side. Once our toast is done, we can pull it off to the side. Preferably, we should have this timed well so that it's kind of done at the same time as our eggs. So speaking of our eggs, we can actually begin to cook them. For our pan, we want to use something that has a really nice wide open base and something preferably non-stick. We're going to preheat this pan over medium-low heat. And the real thing here is we want to make sure that we're not overheating the pan. We want the pan to be fully hot, but not too hot that it overcooks the eggs. And the best way to test the temperature is actually to throw a pat in of butter, which we need to do anyways. You should notice that the butter melts slowly. If it immediately melts and burns or turns brown, the pan is way too hot. And I actually messed this up the first time. I had to do it again the second time. What you're looking for is a slow melt of the butter like this. And we also need to use a non-stick safe hand tool, such as I'm using a silicone spatula here to spread the butter evenly over the surface. So once the butter's melted, we can actually pour in our eggs. And we'll also add in any extras that we want. For me here, for example, I'm using some chopped chives and some black pepper. You'll then want to start continuously stirring the eggs, making sure that none of it is sticking to the bottom of the pan as it cooks. And we want to cook the eggs to the desired consistency, which is really only possible to tell by eye. Depending on how hot this pan is, it will speed up or slow down the process. So as I mentioned earlier, it's a lot easier to lower the temperature of the pan and slowly raise temperature as you need if it's taking too long than to overshoot the stage that we're trying to aim for with these eggs. So as the eggs cook, they will firm up and dry up a little bit. And what you kind of are looking for is something around this stage where the eggs are about 70% firm and about 30% wet. And what we're going to do here is we're actually going to take them off the heat. And the reason for that is because the residual heat in the pan and leftover in the eggs will cook it that last bit. And that's really kind of the trick here. If you take it out when it's done, you'll just get really nasty rubbery eggs. So if you want your eggs to be super nice and you wanted to like add an extra layer to this, feel free to add in a spoonful of creme fraiche. If it's cold, it also helps kind of cool the eggs down so they don't cook too much. And for some bonus points, feel free to add some Parmesan cheese in. So we want to kind of work quickly here. While the eggs are nice and hot and scrambly, we want to just kind of put this over our toast, and boom, we have a nice egg toast here. If you really want to impress your friends, you can place a few strands of chives over your dish if you have them, and people think you're fancy. So it's an easy recipe to make, and once you've made it here, after a few weekends, you'll be able to just recreate it at a moment's notice, and you'll be able to adapt it as you need. It's a really great dish to have in your tool belt. So if you're a really fan of kind of nice, scrambly, a little creamy, then this is a perfect recipe to do. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. I'm just so happy with the number of viewers that we have from the cola video. And I'm still kind of in the process of moving into my new apartment after I'm moving to the US. So videos will start to come out soon and semi-regularly again. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.